in the light. Why are the Busharians so keen on this? And in a short while, we'll get to understand who the Busharians are and why they choose to walk in the light and how we can also learn from them. I'm Lucy, your host in the Rays of Hope program. And to help us understand that theme more, in the studio, I have Mrs. Faith Njuguna, the Deputy Principal from Alliance Girls High School. She's in charge of administration in the school, and she'll tell us more about herself and the work that they are doing. You are most welcome, and remember that you can stream this program live on Kaktivit Kenya, on Facebook, and on YouTube. You are most welcome. Mrs. Njuguna, please say hello to the viewers and karibu sana.
Thank you, Reverend Lucy. Hello, viewers. Welcome as we learn about hope and how we can foster hope as we walk in the light.
Wonderful. And actually, what a theme. What a theme. I also understand that you're a member of a school of a church that neighbors the school. Maybe you can tell us what else you do apart from being the deputy principal at Alliance Girls.
Thank you, Lucy. Apart from being the deputy principal in charge of administration at Alliance Girls, I'm also a teacher. I teach there. I teach history and government, and my second subject is Christian and religious education. Also, apart from teaching, I'm a member of Kikuyu Township PCA Church, where I serve as a deacon, and I also serve the school as a teacher and as an administrator. And I thank God for the opportunity to serve in two institutions.
Wonderful. And it's so good to have you here today. Very, very excited to understand the school that we look up to so much and to understand the theme and the things that keep you going. And there we shall learn a lot. I want us to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Alliance Girls High School. Please give us a brief overview of the history. Why are you called Busharians?
Yes.
And then we go into like walking in the light.
Okay. Alliance Girls High School started as African Girls High School. It was the first African girls secondary school in Kenya that was started by Scottish missionaries who settled at now the place we call Dogoto. That was in 1948. But it's interesting to learn that the 10 girls who started Alliance or African Girls High School then started learning at the school we call across, our brother school, Alliance High School. So they schooled there, but with time, the administrators there felt that co-education is not working well, and they advocated and advised the government then that if the girls are separated from the boys, both would achieve better. So the girls were slowly moved to the intermediate school in the neighborhood, the Dogoto Intermediate School, which is also called Mabere. And they started schooling there under the support of Thomas Watson. And it was a small institution. They had one big block that served as a class. It served as a knitting area. It served as a sleeping area and the laundry area. But with time, this happened in 1947. But with time, the missionaries were allowed to move slightly far to a more spacious place with the agreement of with the government then, the colonial government, that they leave the intermediate school and they expand a few miles away where they would have more space. And that's how the first African Girls High School settled at the current ground of Alliance Girls in 1948 in February. And that's why in our school corridor, we celebrate our birthday every last Sunday of February every year. And now, last year we celebrated the 71 years of Alliance Girls.
Wow.
they started as 10 students, 10 girls from different parts of Kenya, different provinces, and the school has grown in bound, and now we have 1942 students, 98 teachers, and 65 non-teaching staff members. And we bless the Lord for this great school.
I mean, that's a big community.
It's a very large community.
And there's just something about Alliance High School that's so interesting.
Yes.
And maybe that has to do with your motto. And I'm interested to hear how that weaves into the culture and to everything that you do, walking in the light.
Yes, our motto is walking the light, as was coined by the missionaries who started the school and has been carried over and incorporated in the culture of the school, where the girl child who comes to Alliance Girls is taught and is empowered to learn to appreciate doing things right all the time, despite the challenges, despite the distractions, or even the circumstances. And this has made students for instance, cultivate integrity in the areas of academic, in their exams, and even as they proceed to work on their professions after high school.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And you've started touching on what to me seems like the core values.
Yes.
That are inspired by this motto.
Yes, Alliance Girls has core values. Okay, we have a vision and we have a mission. And the vision that we have is to make Alliance Girls a leading girls' school and most preferred. And for this, our mission is to help these girls to develop as all-round students and exploit their full potential to become responsible citizens or responsible adults even after they leave. So this mission and vision are inculcated and are supported by our core values, which are godliness is the first one, being the fact that this school was started by missionaries. Everyone who comes to study here or to work here is always made to understand this is a mission area. And for this school to be, it took the hand of God through the people he sent here. And in fact, we always tell the teachers and the students that being at HHS is divine. So one of our core values is godliness, the other one is hard work, the other one is integrity, the other one is excellence. We always teach and encourage every worker, every teacher, every student to strive to attain excellence in everything that they do. We also have, we've talked of hard work, we've talked of godliness, we've talked of integrity, and then we also have teamwork and loyalty. All these are meant to support the vision that is achieved through the mission.
And indeed that has helped you to remain quite at the top, and it's still a preferred school. I think any girl in this country who has to choose, I mean, whatever comes to their mind first is like, I would want to be at Alliance. And that is very, very important. And so what are the major things that, you know, or in terms of the alumni of the school, have they been able to get into the different sectors of this country? Can you look at your girls and maybe see the way they have become agents of transformation in our community? Do you take pride? Can you remember any girls out there?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Alliance Girls has had students who have gone through transformation from physical, spiritual, psychological, academic, and even in empowerment of leadership. And this has made most of our students to do well in the academics. They get into the universities within the country and beyond, and they train in different careers, professions, and they later led in different sectors of the economy, within our boundaries and even outside this country. We have quite many engineers, we have many lawyers, we have many politicians, we have teachers, we have pilots, and currently, even in the current government, we have a number of CSs who have gone through Alliance Girls.
Wow.
Yes.
That is something to celebrate. And you said that your first value, that the first core value is godliness.
Yes.
Tell us more about that and how that is inculcated, how that becomes the culture of every student that comes there, and combine that with the role of the sponsor.
Thank you, Lucy. I've said that Alliance Girls was started as African Girls High School, and the name was changed after independence to become Alliance Girls as a sister school to Alliance Boys that had been started over 20 years earlier. Now, the sponsor of Alliance Girls is the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, which was an offshoot of the missionaries' activities from Scotland, who settled in the Otto. And I hope, Lucy, you know that Togoto was coined by the Agikuyu community who could not pronounce Scotland.
I heard so the other day that Scotland is Togoto.
Yes, the Africans around the current Togoto, the mission area, could not say Scotland. So they were calling the mission area Togoto.
Togoto.
Yeah, so that's how the name Togoto came about. So this Presbyterian Church is still the sponsor of Alliance Girls High School, and godliness that was imparted and inculcated by the very first teachers and administrators in the school, who were mostly the missionaries, has never ceased to be. And in our school program, we have assemblies on Monday, where we have our school chaplain taking us through a brief prayer session. Then every Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. and every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. up to 8, we normally have what we call chapel services for only 30 minutes, where students go to the chapel. For this is what was happening before COVID. They could go to the chapel and we have a brief service of 30 minutes. And there is also the CU meeting, fellowship, every Saturday evening and Sunday evening. There is also a whole school service every Saturday morning from 8 to 10. So godliness becomes part and parcel of our culture and our program, our routine in the school. And in the evening before prep, our prep starts at 7 p.m., but the girls are in class 15 minutes before prep. Within those 15 minutes, they have time to pray before beginning of prep. So all the students get inculcated in hearing a lot more about the Word of God. And we bless the Lord for this.
Wonderful.
We also have teachers hold prayer meetings once a week that we are guided by the school chaplain. We have Christian religious education as a subject taken by all students in Form 1 until they take their options in Form 2. It's also worth to note that we also have some students who are Muslims, and in the admission letter it's made clear that this is a Presbyterian sponsored school, and so they have no problem in buying the Bibles, because that's one of the textbooks they should bring, because they must study CRE in Form 1.
Wonderful.
And incidentally, some of them opt to continue with the subject up to KCSE as a subject.
As a subject.
Where now they understand is not that they are getting converted to Christianity, they take it as a subject. And they also perform very well.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So you talked about the sponsor. The sponsor.
Yeah.
The sponsor always makes sure that we have a chaplain in the school. Yeah, and they facilitate this chaplain with cost share, her maintenance, and with the school. She's housed in the school, and she's the one in charge of all spiritual matters in the school. Such that even for the Muslims, if they have to have visitors, she coordinates their programs. She coordinates Ramadan, she coordinates their activities. She's in charge of all the spiritual programs in the school. Yes, and this has become also very important at this time of COVID.
Wonderful. And that's now chaplaincy.
Yeah, chaplaincy.
So she's also quite busy and her hands are really full.
She's busy because especially coordinating all these services on Sundays and in between the week. And she's the one who organizes. Sometimes we have to bring in teachers to talk to the students, but she's the one who runs the programs. And the chaplain also is part of the guidance and counseling committee, because there are some girls who may feel that they are more free with the religious leader, could be better than some of us, the teachers. Yeah, so she's really supportive in the activities of guidance and counseling.
Wonderful. And what's the sponsor's role in terms of the management? Are they involved and the leadership of the school, other than chaplaincy?
Yeah, apart from chaplaincy and making sure that that core value of godliness is sustained. The sponsoring church is represented in the management of the BOM, and the BOM at Alliance Girls is always on top of things in the learning of the school. The structures, the BOM makes sure that the structures in the school are running well, and in case there is any challenge, the church through the BOM advises. And also they try to advise, the church advises on how the leaders being put in place can inculcate the culture that has sustained the school this far, such that if there is some leadership that may not incorporate what has worked well as a Christian school, then the sponsor always has the responsibility of layering out that this one is not working for the girl child. Yes.
Wonderful. So these this kind of partnership is very helpful.
It is very helpful.
For the school to perform, for the school to be what it is.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And the sponsor is also involved whenever we have significant activities, including the annual activities and festivities in the school. For instance, the school birthday, the sponsor always takes part. Like last year, as we were celebrating our 71st birthday, is the same day that our dear late Reverend Kanya, may his soul rest in peace, laid the foundation stone of the upcoming chapel stroke multipurpose hall.
Wonderful.
So the church is seriously involved. The sponsoring church is seriously involved in significant activities in the school. Prayer days for the Form 4s, they take part. Even encouraging students, the sponsoring church has been crucial.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. And congratulations. When I visited recently, I saw the progress of the new chapel.
Yes.
It's big, and I think it's going to be very, very beautiful. We can't wait.
Yeah, we thank God we are putting up a school chapel of 3,300 capacity.
Wow.
Because the current auditorium where we worship, when the full school is on, which was 1,500 capacity, we have the students overflowing. And the first chapel that was built in 1952 by the missionaries can only accommodate about 500 students.
Amazing growth.
Yes.
Over the years.
Over the years.
And we thank God for that.
Amen.
Now, the impact of education on girls. We believe, and the Presbyterian Church believes, because that's one of the pillars of the church, education. We believe that there is a transformative power in education, and more so for the girls.
True.
I think you can attest to that, and maybe help us see through the eyes of Alliance Girls to see how education is able to transform the lives of girls and therefore transform the communities.
Thank you, Lucy. Alliance Girls is a national school that has been admitting girls who have performed excellently well in their different counties. So we get girls from every part of Kenya. And so our students are from diverse backgrounds. Some students are from well-off, high-end background. Others are middle. Others are quite financially challenged. And culturally so, they come and get a culture shock. And Alliance Girls has been paramount, has played a crucial role in transforming girls from whatever the backgrounds they come from to be better by the way our routine learns, by the different programs that we learn. And like for instance, when they come in Form 1, we do a whole 1 week orientation for the Form 1s, whereby we help them to get adjusted to high school life, boarding school life, where we give them a chance to appreciate and understand who they are and appreciate the differences they share with others. And we also help them understand that where they come from, it doesn't matter to us. Ours is to allow them and enable them and facilitate transformation to be just like a small girl from Kwale, from Kilifi, from Moyale, from Murang'a, from Kisumu, to be a child who move on to the university and train for a career in which they will serve God in, and they will do their best as responsible Kenyans.
Wow.
So we appreciate them the way they are, we accept them the way they are. Some come without even boxes, some come with primary school shoes, some come with no shopping, and some are brought even by their primary school teachers. The parents have no way of navigating to Nairobi, and we appreciate and accept all of them.
Wow.
We have different mechanisms in which we support those who may be financially challenged, to give them equal opportunities with everyone else. And we have seen students coming out so strong. And when they try to tell us as they leave how they came, they also shed tears when they narrate and relate what Alliance Girls has done for them. From mannerisms, academics, spiritual growth, training on leadership, all that in one. We produce. We get girls, but we produce ladies.
Oh, you get girls, you produce ladies.
Yes.
And you've alluded to the fact that these girls come from very, very diverse backgrounds.
Yes.
Some from the extreme ends of the society.
Yes.
So how do you provide this level ground for them? If I come, I didn't have a box, I have nothing on me, so how do you help me?
Thank you.
Yeah.
In the admission process, our admission process is long. Starting from accounts, you meet the house teachers, you meet the class teachers. In this process, the teachers who are doing the admission process will always notice a child who needs help or who requires support. And there is always a special desk that is handled by the teacher in charge of sponsorship in the school and the social welfare. So we refer those girls to that desk. Even as the teachers get their biodata of the students, you can tell this is an orphan, this one is like this, like that, and then that desk now takes their details and they look for sponsorship for them. Yes. Yeah. Also in the school, we have a society called Students Welfare Society that was started many years back. And that social welfare society started by being, by well-wishers donating extra shopping, extra money to support the needy. But with time, the administration that was there then allowed the social welfare society to run the school canteen, which he called the tuck shop. The profits from that tuck shop help in purchasing the personal effects that some girls may be lacking. They purchase oils, biro pens, tissue, pads, anything, those basic things, and toothpaste, such that since every house has a representative of social welfare, those girls, through the representatives, can request for the items that they need from the Students' Welfare Society. They also pay fees. They also pay fees for needy students. The teacher in charge visits the accounts and check any students who may be having very high fees, then consult the file and see how needy the background of the child may reflect, and then assist such students. Yes, so the social welfare has been very crucial in settling down girls. There's no girl from Alliance who can say, I cannot be concentrating in class because I'm lacking this or that. And some who may be feeling shy to be known that they are needy, they go to teachers that they trust. They may come to me, they go to any teacher and say, kindly get the following items for me from the social welfare. And since the teachers are already aware, they get the list, they get the items and give the girls, and it's settled.
Well, that's very encouraging, Madam.
Yes.
Because these are things that are doable.
Yes.
And any school out there can be able to emulate that.
Yes.
And make the lives of the learners more bearable.
Sure.
And this is very interesting, and we want to hear more about how you're dealing with this current situation, how Alliance Girls is adapting to this new normal. And actually we want to hear, the numbers that you have right now, but I think it's about time we took a short break, and we will be right back to hear more about this leading school, and we can learn a lot from you. So don't go away, dear viewers, we'll be right back.